Trojans! Today is April 26th, and it's an A-Day. I'm Kiara Montejano.
And I'm Chauvin Piazza. On today's program, we'll hear from PHS counseling about summer school and about end-of-year activities like prom and graduation. But first, the news.
Welcome to Trojan Broadcast News. In local news, Petaluma citizens are having trouble finding and making appointments to get vaccinated. Here is one way you can find that information.
So I'm going to use the vaccine finder the CDC provides. It'll be in the description below. There are languages for both English and Spanish speakers. The access code is not needed, so you can just skip that. You can find your zip code online by looking up your address. So then you're going to choose a location. Available dates are circled and highlighted. Vaccines are several weeks apart. There are 2 doses. You need them both. You're going to list the information that it asks you to list. Most of us will not have a suffix. Well, those above 18 might. If you attend Petaluma High School as a student, put down student. That should take priority over a job. Otherwise, put down your job. I used my school email, but you don't have to. You can use a personal one. This is where the questions might get kind of hard to answer for those of us under 18, so you might want to sit down with an adult to do so if you're not already. If you need any special accommodations, make sure you list so right here. The security code will be texted or emailed to you, and then you're all done.
Vaccinations are now available for anyone 16 or older.
In national news, Derek Chauvin has been found guilty of the murder of George Floyd. The jury reached a verdict that found him guilty on all counts. He has been charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of manslaughter in Floyd's death.
And finally, in international news, several countries are reopening their borders to vaccinated travelers. Sources say that vaccination passports will be encouraged and may be required in the future entering the U.S., but will not be enforced for domestic travelers. Not all countries require vaccine passports, but many are. How often and when they implement these passports are uniquely up to their country's government.
More information about these news stories can be found in this video's description. And now this week's first announcement is from counseling.
Students, if you scored a D or an F in a core class, it is vital to apply for summer school ASAP. You may apply for 3 core subjects only: English, math, history, science, PE, and some limited electives. Summer school will be in person at Casa Grande High School and will meet Monday through Friday starting June 14th until July 23rd. Applications are now available on Parent Square or in the counseling website. Please contact your counselor if you have any questions.
Our next announcement is for girls lacrosse. They'll be having a home game tonight versus Justin Siena at 7 p.m. Good luck, Trojans.
And that's it for our announcements this week. Our first segment is from Melissa Diaz, who talked to our principal, Mr. Mori, about end-of-the-year activities like prom, graduation, and grad night.
Hello, I'm Melissa Diaz. As many of you know, we will be returning to school in the form of hybrid learning soon, and it has raised many questions about our end-of-the-year activities like prom. We spoke with Principal Mori about prom, graduation, and grad night, and this is what he had to say.
Hi, everyone. I've been asked to answer a couple questions about end-of-year activities such as prom, graduation, and grad night. So I wanted to give the most updated information I have at this time. So when thinking about prom, a group of senior ASB students have been working and meeting at least twice a week, I think for the past month or so, to really plan out the possibility of a senior type activity which would take the place of prom. Because given the current health restrictions, we really can't run a traditional prom event. So what they have done is they've put together an activity which would be outdoors and have various things that we could do on our campus in the field area, as I understand it. They have presented this plan or submitted the plan to our district office to run by our district leadership and our COVID-19 coordinator to make sure that we could do such an event. So right now we're hoping to get that information back to whether or not what is currently planned is approved. If it is not approved, hopefully they will give us some feedback as to what could be done and could lead towards approval. And hopefully we will be able to put that event on towards the end of the school year. In terms of graduations, we've had a lot of conversations, the comprehensive high schools and the alternative ed sites with the superintendent. And superintendent has given us direction on a number of things. The plan right now for the comprehensive high schools is that we will each do 2 graduation ceremonies, likely divided up by alphabet. And so we'll have half the class at the first ceremony, which would be at 9:45 a.m. on Saturday, June 5th. And the second ceremony would be the other half on at 1:15 p.m. on Saturday, June 5th. So they'd both be on the same day, but they would be separate ceremonies. The reason for separate ceremonies is that there are specific gathering restrictions that we must adhere to. And I think even doing 2 separate ceremonies, we're stretching that to some degree. And the idea is that the graduates would be on the field. They would be able to have 4 guests. As of right now, we're thinking in order to meet gathering restrictions. So each graduate would be able to have 4 guests with them. The seating would be all on the field in pods so that households remain together. And we are currently making arrangements for what that setup would look like on the field. In terms of grad night, unfortunately, it looks like grad night is not going to be able to happen because they too are dealing with gathering restrictions. Also because of the various lockdowns and restrictions that have happened this year, they really haven't been able to fundraise, so they don't have the funds to be able to put anything on. So that's essentially where things are right now. We're going to continue communicating out information as we're able to update it. And hopefully that provides a little bit of insight as to where things currently are and what they can look like in the future. So please be on the lookout for more information as we're able to provide it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. That's it for this week's program. Stay safe out there, Trojans.
This is Trojan Broadcast Channel, and make it a great day.